I'm Mike Thompson. I'm the city administrator for the City of Foley. I've been in the position for coming up on a decade now. Never would have guessed the types of things you'd get involved in working for our city, but over this past decade there's been a number of things we've all had to work through. I kind of view the pandemic as just one other example of things that we have to work with and help to get our city through over time. So glad to see some things opening up now. That should help some of our local businesses, but certainly I'm excited to see more and more of that transpire over the next few weeks. You know, one thing that I think is important from a municipal perspective and how we can help our local businesses is to get our city functions back to normal operations as quickly as we can. One thing that we do a lot of in Foley is we do sports tourism. We bring a lot of young families together here in our part of the county to do sports tournaments. Unfortunately, March, April, and May, we just had a full slate of those tournaments, and we had to cancel those tournaments. But that's an example of where I think we can most help our businesses is get that stuff operating again. We can't do it yet because sports tourism is not allowed to take effect right now under the current order. But as soon as we're able to bring those young families together again, that's what we can do to help our businesses, is bring those customers back. We're working now, even before we open, on trying to highlight our sports tourism market and why they should choose us to do their tournaments. Just last night, the City Council, for example, approved a resolution that allows us to put UV lighting technology within our HVAC units at our sports event center. So those are things we're doing to try to set our community apart from other areas where these people could choose to take their sports tournaments to. So one thing that's maybe a little bit unique for our part of our county is how much of our local business has to do with tourism. Just talked about sports tourism, obviously, but vacations and that kind of thing. My sister cities south of Foley, Orange Beach and Gulf Shores, obviously tourism's a big deal for them, just like it is for us. So we all recognize that as something that we need to help stimulate back, once it's safe for us to do that. So we're all working on that. We'll see how some of these things roll out over the next few weeks as the governor reassesses those things. And I believe there'll be unique ideas that will come to us from those business communities. One thing that I've heard a couple times is allowing for outdoor seating for restaurants, for example, in public spaces. So certainly if things like that come before my city council, I know my city council will consider those things. So we're all kind of looking at ways that we can bring our economy back, but doing it in a very safe way and working together to help support one another. And I think we'll see that as these businesses start looking at unique ways to do that. I'm quite sure they'll have some questions and thoughts that local cities could be able to help them with.